So in the last episode we defeated every pre-hard mode boss, and now that we have slain the wall of flesh, we have entered hard mode. Now this is the part that's going to get real interesting and real hard. I'm going to die to spinning ice cubes, thick magma women, and jumping forges. So come along and experience Calamity mod on Revengeance. Well, the wall of flesh is dead, and the world changed drastically. There are a bunch of new fierce mobs that just want to tear me apart in an entirely new biome called the Hollow. But first, let's get some of the new ores that spawn as well. So, I went to the jungle to collect some of the mentioned ore, which is palladium and cobalt. The reason I went to the jungle is that there's a new plant that also spawns alongside the ores. Life fruit plant. If destroyed, they drop life fruit, which if consumed permanently increases your HP by 5. While mining and foraging, a hell of mimics spawn, which is what we took care of. He didn't really drop anything useful, but at least he gave me a bunch of money. Now that I collected all the materials needed for the better pickaxe and armor, I took a quick peek at the boss list to see what's next, and it was the Queen Slime. So I made myself a piss book and a frigid flash book. Dann haben wir's. Mythical sogar. Nicht mal gucken. Das ist. Got a gelatinous crystal. Yeah, good. And summoned the wife of the king. So und nicht anders. So und nicht anders. Now that we have killed the entire royal slime family, we can move into the icy tundra to fight Cryogen. I didn't waste any time and got right to it. After putting that ice cube in the puddle, the hunt after the 3 mechanical bosses began. But there's one thing I'd like to mention. Usually, if you kill a ball of flesh, you acquire a barn hammer, with which you can destroy demon altars. After destroying those, hard mode ores spawn throughout the world. In the Calamity mod, this is a little different. To get all the hard mode ores to spawn, you have to kill the mechanical bosses. Once killed, the ores spawn and you can mine them. So I got right to slay him by defeating the twins.
Sehr schön, verstanden. Sehr schön. Ja.
With them now gone, I paid a quick visit to the Sulphurous seas and pulled an Aquatic Scourge out of the water to have a face down. I absolutely destroyed him. Now it was time to pull another worm out of my ass. But this time it's no ordinary worm. This worm thirsts for blood, for my blood. Meat to destroy it. But yeah, I mean, all in all, he was pretty easy, so it's not really worth mentioning. I'm not going to include a lot of footage of him. So now, with the world being blessed with more rare minerals, I again headed down into the mines to acquire titanium and adamantite. With the adamantite, I made a forge, which allowed me to turn the raw ores into fine ingots, which can be then turned into rock-hard armor. And speaking of rock hard, the next boss in line was a Brimstone elemental. With the Queen of Hell now being gone and her new weapon acquired, it was time to free the world of scrap metal. It was time for Skeleton Prime. But before actually fighting him, I killed the slime gods in the arena a few times to have some backup hearts and mana stars lying around so that I can use those when I needed them. Which I will really do because I hate this boss. With the 3 souls now in my possession, I made some new weapons and accessories which will aid me in the next few boss fights quite a lot. But before moving on to the next fearsome foe, I had to do some mining for cryonic ore, which then I converted into my new Daedalus armor, or whatever, however you say it. Now, being armed to the teeth with the new elements, it was time for the before mentioned boss, the Calamitas clone. And after almost killing him the first try, I mess up immensely and end up dying. But on a new day, with a fresh mind, I try again. My immaculate aim, I take down this peasant of a boss on first, well, not really first, but second try. Now feeling stronger than ever, I again take the weapons from the fight and use them against the next fool that dares to stand in my way to total victory. The game, desperately trying to take me down, it now threw PLANTERA at me. But with my Brimstone fire book, she stood no chance. Using the living shards she dropped, I took 20 minutes of my life, which without the Focus NPCs mod would have been hours, to craft the Asgard's Valor. The reason it would have taken hours is because of this little item called the Ankh Shield. You see, the recipe for said item is quite large, and the items you need are locked behind drop chances from mobs. So you have to, sometimes for hours, kill the same mobs for them to maybe drop the item you need. Yeah, oh, fuck that. I'd rather download a mod and make my life a little easier.
Der Punkcharm und Shit. Das war doch genau.
Now that we had the Valor, I went to the jungle temple and carefully cleared out all of its nasty traps and creatures. To then fight the Golem. So now that he's defeated, I got my hands on the pick saw. With the pick saw, I went into the abyss to mine some scoria. This is a pretty useful ore, using a lot of hefty equipment like the sigil of Calamitas. Now, I know I skipped a few bosses like Astum Aureus or Anahita. And I did go back to fight Aureus, but there really wasn't anything worth mentioning, so I'm just gonna show you footage of him dying. And Anahita just wouldn't spawn, even after I stood there for like half an hour, so I'm just gonna leave it up to fate whether or not I'm gonna fight her or not. Except if I finish the game and I still haven't slain her, I will go back and wait, if necessary, an hour, but just not right now. But sadly, this is it for now, but there's more to come, so stay tuned.